into the fire, and into the kiln. I bisque at 05. I have a custom schedule that takes up to 18 hours, but I rarely have casualties. I do a 4-hour slow ramp to 212 degrees. At 212 degrees, any moisture inside the clay will start to boil and turn to steam and possibly explode. And so what I do is I push out any possible existing moisture with that slow ramp. I then let the tiles soak in that 212 degree bath for another 3 hours, just to scare away any other boiling molecules from the clay. And then I do a slow 0.5 bisque schedule. And because I stack them in there, it takes a while, but I've never been sorry that I take things slowly, especially with clay. The first firing is always terrifying. If anything is going to go wrong, it's going to be inside that red hot 1875 degree kiln. Darn it. A casualty. A big one. One of my multi-dimensional tiles broke. I think I must have put it too close to the bottom and it couldn't handle the weight of the other tiles on top. But the good news is this one is fixable. It only looks hopeless. Little tender love and care. Time to call in the big guns. Duncan's Patch-a-Thatch. I love this stuff. It doesn't fix everything. At least I don't think it does. But thus far, it has fixed everything that's ever broken in my kiln. I just coat all ends and then revisit it from time to time as it dries. Because as it dries, it shrinks. And so I just keep filling in those cracks until they stop receding. And because this happened on the bark of the tree, I don't think it'll even be noticeable after it's glazed. Sometimes a little third-party assistance can fix the cracks and the breaks.
Eventually, if it's repairable, the cracks will disappear. And you'll just have Patch-a-Thatch.
A quick damp sponge to my bisqued tiles and I'm ready to glaze. Cone 06, Mayco, Lapis Lagoon. I love its rich, lustrous, yummy shine. And I want the surround to be mostly one color with a few hints of accent hues. So I'm going to dip because I want a generous, even deposit of glaze on the tiles, especially the ones that have raised 3 and 4 dimensional facets. For a few of the leaves, I used wax resist so that I can get a clean accent color. There's no fancy secret to wax resist, and honestly, I've used chapstick and it works just fine. But if you want to go with the stuff made for ceramics, once you glaze, allow it to fully dry. Then use your body heat to help rub off. Then you'll have a clean canvas to deposit pure color. For me, I used it for some of the leaves, snowflakes, and of course, the white squirrels. But mostly, I'll accentuate over the existing Lapis Lagoon with copper Aventurine, also Mayco, Cone 06. A few spritzes of distilled water to thin things out if need be. The crazy thing is, this will look nothing like this when it comes out of the kiln. The glaze looks completely different when you first paint it on. I have a relatively small kiln. The firing space is only about 11 by 11, and it would take 8 or 9 firings easy to get this job done. Because of course, now that the tiles are glazed, they can't touch anything, or they'll fuse together when they become glass. And so it gives me a great opportunity to rent kiln space from a great nonprofit in Michigan I've been falling in love with. Paint a Miracle.
Paint a Miracle is an art studio located in downtown Rochester, Michigan, and we provide art experiences for artists who are living with a disability or a challenge. We work with both children and adults, and we also help artists to exhibit and sell their work. So for many of our artists, being an artist is their vocation now.
Now that's a kiln. I feel a little kiln envy. Less than a week later, I pick up my treasure.
Selling your beautiful tiles. The three-dimensional part of that is so beautiful.
The tiles are beautiful. Back on the board at home, they are not just beautiful to me, they are spectacular. When all is said and done, I have used more than 35 pounds of clay to craft 190 tiles, because with everything that I've done, I think this is actually the easy part, because next is the installation. And now I am terrified again.